The EDO Nielsen partnership, Andy, is about joining audiences and outcomes into a unified view of what's working for buyers and sellers of convergent TV advertising. So what we hear from mutual clients all the time, and what we've heard for years, is that they're trying to combine our data sets into how they plan and how they optimize and how they report out their campaigns. And it's hard. It's hard to do unless we join these data sets at their fundamental levels. So that means at the audience level, at the household level, or at the media level, so that we know every program, every piece of content that is carrying advertising on convergent TV, that we can join at those levels. Even at the creative level, we can join the data sets if we integrate properly. And that's the key thing. It's a technical and a legal partnership so that we take away all those friction points and all those barriers that were preventing people from being able to see what an engaged audience really looks like and what they should be buying, what they should be selling for that right campaign.
So Kevin, for people who don't really know that much about EDO, what is the secret sauce that you bring to the table? How do you fit into that puzzle?
Yeah, what's special about EDO is that we're measuring outcomes in a syndicated data way, which is very similar to what a Nielsen or a Comscore does for audiences. When we talk about syndicated data, it means we're collecting, measuring the data for everything that's happening on TV, whether or not you're a client of ours. And at its fundamental base, no one's required to give us any of their first-party protected data in order for us to measure TV. So we have a fundamental alignment there with Nielsen around being syndicated data, and we can measure all of TV in a way that is very connectable to what Nielsen does for measuring audiences. Now, how EDO measures outcomes is also special. We're looking at the lift in behaviors like searches and web visits to the brands that are being advertised in the minutes or in the weeks following an exposure to those ads for that brand in their campaign. And we're doing that always on. We've been doing it for 8 years across linear TV and for the last several years on streaming ad-supported TV.
And who are your clients, and where do you expect your client base to go in the next year?
Yeah, we're working with both the buy side and the sell side. On the buy side, it's brands directly and the agencies that serve those brands. We think it's really important to be working with both brands and agencies. The agencies are really pivotal to the workflow of what's being bought and sold in convergent TV, and so to be integrated with those agencies is critical. On the sell side, we're working with all the major national TV networks and all the major AVOD streamers, whether that's a Peacock that's obviously owned by NBC Universal, but also Netflix Advertising chose us as their preferred outcome measurement partner when they launched their ad-supported tier. We work with Amazon for Thursday Night Football and so on. So it's a very diversified client base, and we think streaming's a huge marketplace. So we'll be very focused on streaming, again, on the buy side and sell side in the coming years. There's obviously the question of when we expand beyond the United States, and I think that's another exciting frontier for us.